did against Northern Illinois, and it's a good thing because we were there so many times. You know, it was just a game where there were so many fouls called that I don't think any team really could get in the sync of things, and so it really became a free throw shooting contest, and we're a good free throw shooting team, shot 78% from the line tonight, so we did a good job there. But I'm also happy we out-rebounded them by 6, so we turned that around from our first game, and we had 18 assists on 19 field goals, which is a pretty impressive number. But Wednesday's obviously going to be a tough opponent for us, Middle Tennessee in the NCAA tournament last year. Good team, glad to have them on our home court. And I appreciate the fans that came out today in that rainstorm because they really gave up a lot to be here, and we appreciate that.
Coach, how important was that announcement that you get to host Wednesday? It's
good, you know. I think anytime you play at your home court, it's an advantage. And since we are hosting this year, we want to be there, but we want to get as comfortable as possible playing on our home court and not having to travel. You know, just saving our legs this time of year is really nice, not having to travel. So it's fun that we get to play on a home court and to share this with our fans.
Morgan, what was it like out there in the paint? Was it as rough as it looked?
Yeah, it was a pretty physical game. I knew coming in they were pretty physical in there, and just had to work on holding our ground and working on some more cross screens and working on different ways to get open.
When things aren't going well, is that something you kind of try to do, is get to the line? It seems like you guys got to a line a lot today, obviously, but is that a conscious effort?
I think so. I think when you go in there, you're expecting to get fouled, and you try to go and you still try to make those shots, but definitely when a team is as aggressive as they are, you take that and you use that to your advantage.
Coach, it was a pretty short turnaround, just 40 hours. You know, I know it was a concern. Just your thoughts on how the team reacted.
I thought we did really well. You know, we had practice at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, which is early for college students. So for them to be that focused to get ready for this game and to know the scouting report, to go through the film, I thought they did a great job. And we had a short practice yesterday because we didn't want to wear their legs out. And I thought we got a lot of accomplished in a short amount of time. So I will say it's nice to have 2 days to prepare for Middle Tennessee. I think we're going to need those 2 days. But we're looking forward to having a little more time to prepare.
Theairra, Coach mentioned it was hard to get any type of rhythm out there. What was that like, always stopping and getting the line and lining up for free throws?
Yeah, I mean, it slowed down the rhythm, but at least, I mean, we were able to sit there and catch our breath and kind of save our legs a little bit. I know that's what I was thinking. But they were calling on both ends, and, I mean, it slowed down the pace, but we got used to it.
Coach, what's to say about your team that, I mean, after the first half, they had, I think, 4 more field goals than you, but you had a 10-point lead that you can kind of still manufacture points?
Well, you know, we're going to try to do it whatever way we can. And we're not, like, sold that we have to be a team that gets it inside or we have to hit the threes. You know, we had free throws tonight, and we got to the free throw line and we converted that. So we don't care how we get the points. That's the most important thing is that we get them.
Are you pretty confident having, you know, sending your girls to the line 40-plus times a game now to help you win games?
You know, I think we have a lot of confidence with our free throw shooting. Last year we were the 4th best team in America in free throw shooting, and so I think it's something we have a lot of confidence in doing.
Theairra, what's it like as a player playing in a tournament like this early in the season?
It's really exciting. We know there's a lot on the line, and it's always a quick turnaround. So to see, you know, the newbies and everybody getting back and being able to do that so quickly, it looks positive for the road ahead.
Coach, when you go out and look for players, do you look for good free throw shooters, or do you have to spend the time on it all the time?
We spend time in practice, every practice, on free throws. And we try to put pressure on them to convert their free throws in practice, try to make it game simulation, do it while they're tired. But, you know, it's always nice when you have a recruit that is able to shoot free throws, but it's not like one of our top factors that we're looking for.
Is the ice a normal post-game routine, or is that because of the physicality of tonight's game?
For me, ice is pretty much normal, old bones, but yeah, just tweaked it a little bit, but I'll be fine.
Morgan, what kind of free throw shooter were you when you came here 4 years ago?
Every single year on my postseason little sheets we have printed out, I shoot about 73 or 72%, and that is 2 or 3 below our team, our goal is. And so to be able to shoot better than that tonight was really exciting for me. I've been shooting better at practice lately, so that's been an improvement, and I hope to just maintain that.
Morgan, do you remember a game where you shot that many or went to the line that many times?
Yeah, I don't remember which game it was, but there was another game that I did pretty well in free throw shooting, but just maintaining that is what I'm just going to keep as my goal.
Morgan, are you inviting more contact this year? Are you getting physical, more physical play, you think?
I feel like it. I feel like my name's out there a little bit more, and people are more like, okay, she's not a huge post, so we're going to push her off the block. So I feel like just trying to maintain that position is going to be really important, and just welcoming that and going into them and drawing those fouls will be really important.
Coach, 7 blocks out of your twin towers down low. Is that kind of the number you wanted, or is today kind of an unusual game that way?
You know, I haven't really sat down and thought of a number that I'm aiming for block shots. You know, Morgan is so good at it, but Bethany's pretty good too. And, you know, it's not something, again, that we've identified that we need this many block shots. In fact, sometimes I get nervous early in the game if they try to block too many shots because we don't want to get them in foul trouble. But, you know, it comes down the stretch. It's nice to kind of let them go and try to get as many as they can.
Coach, 23 turnovers tonight, kind of a tough night for Samantha.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Sam just tried to push things a little too much tonight as far as tried to create too much instead of letting the game come to her. Too many turnovers as a team, definitely. And, you know, I was worried about their press. And we spent a lot of time working on their press because they pressed all the time in their first game. Well, we broke their press, scored a layup. We didn't see it again. And so I was worried about turnovers because of that. And then that wasn't what caused us the turnovers. It was quarter-court decisions. And we're still not making the best decisions in our offense. Too many, I think, unforced turnovers in our quarter-court game.
Can you think of a certain play that swung the momentum to you guys to, you know, keep it there, or kind of? I mean, it was just back and forth pretty much.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I was surprised one time I looked at the clock and we were up 18, and I didn't feel like we were. You know, I felt like that's how you want. You want your players to kind of be in that zone where they don't think about the score, they just think about the next play and don't worry about that. I personally, my favorite play of the game was Sam to Theairra for the fast break layup. I thought that was beautiful.
Theairra, how comfortable are you out there right now?
I'd say I'm really comfortable. It's fun for me right now, and it hasn't been fun for a long time. So.
Do you think it had to do with, like you said, looking up and not really realizing how big the lead was? Do you think it had to do with the flow, like you kind of said? There wasn't really a flow to the game.
Yeah, you know, neither team really got up and down without a whistle blowing. And so I think sometimes it's tough to get your transition game going when it's like that. But yeah, it just was kind of unusual. It's like, I really thought it was a closer game. And I mean, we had a 22-point lead with 3 minutes to go in this game. And I know it didn't end up that way, but, you know, I thought we had it pretty decisively by then.
You talk about Morgan's stat line. Did you go into the game, you know, thinking, you know, all the points, the boards, and the blocks?
You know, we never go into any game thinking that, you might think, okay, we can take advantage of our height here. But not really thinking, you know, how many rebounds or blocks she's going to get. But definitely we think, okay, she has a height advantage, let's try to get the ball inside. But we don't want to be one-dimensional. We're a team that really tries to have more balanced scoring. And today we didn't have that balanced scoring. We only had 2 people in double figures. So we still want to get that balance on our team because that's going to make us harder to guard in the end.
Coach, does Jamie maybe have a little more rust than maybe we thought she might have? Second game back from injury?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think she took a couple of lumps out there, you know, took some bumps, and it shook her up a little bit. She'll be fine. She'll bounce back on Wednesday. I know that about Jamie, but, you know, I feel like I've got to go with what she does in practice instead of one game. And I feel like she's, up until that tweak a little bit ago, she was doing great in practice. So I feel like she's going to be fine for us in the long run.
Coach, Illinois State's Jamie Russell, big night for her. Can you talk about that a little bit?
She's a tremendous player. You know, she went to Wisconsin out of high school. She's definitely a Big Ten caliber player, there's no doubt. She is a tremendous player and showed it tonight. She's a senior, she's had a lot of experience. She's so hard to guard because that pull-up jump shot, she gets so far off the ground that, you know, she's able to shoot over some of our smaller guards like Melissa and Trisha. I thought Sam actually did a pretty good job on her because I think Sam's height hurt her a little bit, but we tried trapping her off the screens and she was splitting the screens against us. She is a very nice player. Defensively, too, an excellent player and would have been a great Big Ten player had she not transferred from Wisconsin.
Any other questions?